Hello, everyone. Welcome to the GLORIO Chat, the best anime podcast on the internet. This is our first full and official episode of the summer 2025 season. I don't have time for bits. We got too much to talk about because this is actually a good season.
Yeah,
a lot of shows going on.
What a season! What a season!
Perhaps 2025 will indeed be the year of the comedy, which we talked about last time, and I will reinforce further this week. But we got a lot to talk about, so I just want to plow right into it here. Let's start with the intros. I'm Jel. I'm joined by Iro.
I'm still here. I'm not dead yet. I've been playing a lot of Donkey Kong Bonanza. That seems like a pretty good game.
I've heard that, although I am famously a Donkey Kong game hater.
Okay, but did you like Super Mario Odyssey?
Yes.
Did you like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild?
Sure.
What if you smash those games together and divide it by 2?
Okay.
And also, you were a monkey and could punch things.
How many things are there for me to collect?
Quite a few.
That's not enough.
At least 3.
I need a truly overwhelming number of things to collect.
You can punch rock. There's a lot of punching. You can rip rocks out of the ground and surf on them.
Okay,
that all seems cool, but what about collecting things?
Collecting things. Well, you can punch. When you punch the rocks, gold comes out of the rocks, and you can collect the gold.
Okay, but how many different types of gold are there?
Okay.
2.
Donkey Kong 64 was bad, is what I'm saying.
how many jiggies are there?
I'm with you on that one, Zig. But yes,
yes. Look, I do not care for Donkey Kong 64. Bonanza is quite good.
Yes.
Also, they're being very coy about the questions of Pauline and timelines and canon and when things do not, because Cranky Kong is in that game.
These are the very important expanded Donkey Kong universe timeline.
Yeah, what repercussions did
Cranky Kong's in that game, and as we all know, Cranky Kong is the original Donkey Kong as featured in 1981 Donkey Kong.
Yes.
What repercussions does this have for the Donkey Kong extended universe?
What indeed?
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait till the publication of the Kong Historia.
Well, you see, Pauline has mentioned a grandmother who.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm thinking maybe Pauline's grandma is Lady from Donkey Kong. If Cranky Kong is indeed the original Donkey Kong.
Right.
But then is Cranky Kong current Donkey Kong's grandfather or his father?
Grandfather.
So Donkey Kong Jr. is Cranky Kong's son, but current Donkey Kong's dad.
I believe so.
Okay, sure.
Question mark?
It's a Joestar situation.
Yeah.
So
it skips a generation.
Just making a note here. Iro subscribes to the 3 generation school of thought. Yeah.
We need one of those like relationship chart things for Donkey Kong. I'm sure they're out there.
I'm saying yes. That is a game where when I find one of the little shrine adjacent rooms, the things where you go into and it's a self-contained little zone that's always going to have 3 bananas in it, I'm like, hell yeah.
Okay, but what if it had 78 bananas?
Okay. I'm moving on from the collection Donkey Kong collecting conversation.
Oh, banana.
Yes. I have heard that is a good video game in spite of my anti-Donkey Kong bias, but yes.
It's the first Donkey Kong game I've enjoyed since...
Yep.
No, I'm in a similar place. Honestly in a similar place. I'm like, what was the actual last Donkey Kong game I liked?
The original.
I don't hate the retro Donkey Kong games.
I liked playing Donkey Kong in Smash Brothers.
It's true.
Yeah.
I liked, I liked more than playing Donkey Kong in Smash Brothers, playing as Kirby and then swallowing Donkey Kong and then playing as Kirby with the Donkey Kong's Charge Punch.
Yes. That's always fun with Kirby, but yeah. All right. I need to cut this one off. We got anime to talk about. Or, we're also joined by G.
I have good news for my co-hosts and bad news for all our devoted listeners. I teased you with it last time, but I looked at this week's schedule, the docket we have to cover here, and I've made the tragic, the regrettable yet necessary decision. I have ordered a stay of execution for my co-hosts. I just don't think we have time this week to fully get into the saga of Tokai Teo and Majoro McQueen, as seen in season 2
Yeah, we
of
need to go
Uma
back to Donkey
Musume.
Kong. We need to go back to Donkey Kong.
I'm into this now. Gee, you sucked me back in from last time.
No.
I haven't watched the anime, but I did get back into the game. Clearly,
So
I
what
think,
about those bananas, huh?
Banana.
You know what? You know what, G?
Banana.
Clearly, we
Yeah.
just needed to do a second spin-off podcast.
Oh
to,
no!
Like the Gotcha Hour.
Discuss
Like, did I even have a chance to talk about Torn of the Golden Country or no?
That's old news, man.
Yeah. It really is old news.
This is the hot current item, right? With
Yes.
Musume, but
Well, here's the thing. I'm not even really that interested in talking about the game. I mean, the game is like charming, whatever. I talked about it last time.
Yeah.
I'm mainly talking about the anime, and specifically season 2 of the anime, which is like, unironically, maybe one of the best sports anime I've watched in recent memory.
Yeah, I kind of, as my knowledge of both Uma Musume and Japanese horse racing has expanded over the past 2 weeks, I kind of want to watch it at this point. But
if you do, you definitely. I'll just say to keep it short again. The truncated thing I'll just say here is season 2 is the one to watch. I have watched season 1, season 2, and I'm halfway through season 3.
I forgot there's a 3.
2 is the one. Like,
So-
they're all standalone. All 3 seasons are basically standalone. 2 is the one to watch. 1 is like a really basic slice of life, and 3 is like just 2 but worse. So
yeah, I have a general idea what happens in 2, and I could see what you're saying being
So
correct.
every horse in that game is not only anime-fied but also gender swapped, right? Because they do not.
actually,
Okay, they race. Do they race mares?
They do.
Yeah.
Mares race in
I didn't
horse
know
racing.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know that. I assumed only stallions raced.
wow, what a
I know,
what
it's
a
just
gendered
so
assumption
close-minded
to
of
make
me.
about
Yeah.
horse racing. What
Yeah.
Ira, are you implying
Forgive me.
that girl horses can't run as good as boy horses?
Ira is a horse sexist. There's our title, folks, and we're not even 10 minutes in.
But no, yes, there are. Yes, I mean, they are based off of real horses, and some of those
Right.
horses were in fact originally female.
Okay, so are they boys in
our
the game then?
world. What?
Are they boys in the game then?
No.
No,
I
they're all-
believe
Are
there's
they like extra girl-fied?
Actually, no, not
Okay.
really. Like, it's
Yeah.
extremely inconsistent.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
Uma Musume literally means horse girl, right? Like,
Well, yes.
Yes.
I've watched enough
I
anime
think-
to.
I
pick
think
that
the
one up.
creator or one of the lead guys on Uma Musume did an FAQ and explicitly stated there are no boy Uma Musumes.
How do they spawn?
They're like a fantasy race. They're kind of like the Asari.
Oh my
Like
god!
when an Uma
Embrace it
Musume.
for today.
Yes. When Uma Musume couples always result in Uma Musume,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
unless they're boys, and then they
It's
come
like,
out human.
okay, I'm not just doing a bit because isn't the whole thing is who sired whom is a big deal in horse racing?
Yes,
That is
and
a factor. Yep.
that is the aspect that the game and the anime are happy to just sidestep. Don't question that these two horses who are distant, generational relatives separated by 40 years are just hanging out in the same high school. Don't think about it too hard that
Yeah.
some of these horses are already
Horse
dead
sex.
while others are still alive and even active racing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shout out to that one because my YouTube. I watched one clip of something Uma Musume related,
there's
and
your
my YouTube
problem.
recommendations immediately got flooded by Uma Musume. But shout out to the one video we found with they were asking some old man, who knows a lot about horse racing to guess which
Mhm.
which horse each girl was. That was pretty fun.
Right. Shoutouts to, I believe it was literally called The Old Man Show.
Yes. I mean, I could go on a whole tangent on the game and how I had to like readjust my brain to Cygames logic after playing MiHoYo games for so long, but we'll just leave it there for now. We'll keep working it in where we can, G, or maybe we should make that, make that second
who else is on this podcast?
Yes. So we'll make it out of the intro soon. Zig, what do you got going on?
I am being censored. I am not allowed to say any fucking swear words. I am not allowed to look at big titties.
What about the horses?
I'm not allowed to look at big horse titties either.
Okay.
Not unless I can prove to a computer that I am an old man. There you go. There's your tie-in.
Yeah.
Well, I have good news,
Norman Reedus.
Zig. Turns out you can just use a photo of America's sweetheart,
Sam Porter Bridges.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. Yes.
Son of America's former president, Samantha
Yes.
America Stride.
Yes.
To trick the age.
Is that what people have been doing?
Yeah, there's a whole article on PCGamer.com about how people have been using photos of Norman Reedus from hit video game Death Stranding.
Because it has a robust photo mode.
Including the ability to adjust his expression.
That is pretty great.
Yes.
We are in the worst
Not
cyberpunk
alive.
future.
But also possibly the funniest.
It is that
I mean, if
that part is funny, yeah.
yes, just
small mercies.
Look, if you're an aspiring cyberpunk writer out there, you can just like twist some of these details a little bit, be like, oh, I gotta go down, I gotta go to downtown to pick up my my black market floppy disk of Sam Porter Bridges photo mode renders to trick the age gate on on my cyber deck.
All you have to do is set it in 20XX and we're golden.
Good times. All right. Well, let's talk about some anime. We've got.
Aren't you glad we saved time on the intro?
Hey, it's only 12 minutes in. We've done worse.
True.
Including last episode probably, but yeah, a lot of good shows this season, and we'll talk about the ones that we talked about last time. But I wanted to kick it off with two shows we didn't get a chance to talk about. Well, one of them wasn't even out, but two new things on the list here. And we can start with Detectives These Days Are Crazy. This actually was out last time, but I cut it because I was kind of on the fence about whether I was even going to watch it or not. And I'm glad I stuck with it because I think they won me over.
I did not expect that.
This is perhaps the wacky comedy I've been waiting for to some degree. And so at the time, last episode, I had only watched the first episode. I mean, last episode of the podcast, first episode of the anime. And the first half was like so bad of the first episode that I was just like ready to just drop. But the second half was pretty funny. So I was like, all right, let me give it one more episode. And we're now 4 episodes in, and it's pretty much been good throughout. For a little refresher, this show is about the main guy is, or I should say was, the genius boy detective back in his youth, but now he is a washed up and ancient 35-year-old man. Broke and his back hurts.
Yep.
And he's
well, that I can relate to.
Got nothing going on until one day this energetic high school girl bursts into his office demanding to be his assistant because she's like a fan of him from way back when or whatever. And when I say
then he wakes up and it's all a dream.
Yeah. So the opening is really bad. So just warning, if anybody does watch this, you'll have to survive the first like 10 minutes of the show, which is like they immediately throw the she opens the door and then it's like, you're looking at my panties, and it's a bunch of creepy old man jokes. Which is why I was like, nope, not doing this. But
can't they just be like
once
buddies?
Yes, once they get out of their system though, that part, then they do just become buddies for the rest of the show. and it's pretty funny. At least by my standards. I don't know if you guys would like it, if we're being honest, because it's very like very stupid anime comedy, but it's a lot of
we
fun.
got a lot of those this season, so
yeah, I guess if you guys are like Panty and Stocking, it's not dumber than that, but
would be hard to.
What is?
honestly.
So to just kind of give a little extra context of why I'm enjoying this, like the main guy, you know, he's old man, he's back hurts, he doesn't understand smartphones, that kind of stuff. Which is funny to me because he's only 35, but you know how anime is, right? He's already got both feet in the grave. He doesn't. So they don't really take on like real mysteries at this point. They're just kind of picking up odd random jobs to make money. And so he doesn't really do a whole lot. It's really the main girl that's doing all the work. And she's like, how would I put it? She's basically a cartoon character. So like,
I mean, she's literally a cartoon character.
But you know what I mean? Like she's like Bugs Bunny, right? Like she's so like in universe, she doesn't have any like superpowers other than being like able to. She's apparently very athletic, but like in practice, she's like indestructible. She can like pull objects out of nowhere and occasionally break the fourth wall and stuff like that. It's very cartoony, which is entertaining, and it's actually the show actually looks really good, which is surprising.
Huh? What studio is this?
So this is Leiden Films, who when Leiden Films is actually making good anime, they can make anime look as good as just about anybody.
When they decide to turn it on, at least.
Yes. Also currently doing Call of the Night this season, which also looks great. But specifically in here, they're like, you know, Love Lab tier Dogakobo, like wacky animation stuff going on, which is a lot of fun. And the actual like jokes, some of them are maybe a little too random, but it is a lot of just like fast-paced, really dumb things happening. So I'll give you one case that they handle as an example to give you the vibes. So like they get a case with one of the main girl's classmates comes in and he's like, "Oh, I'm seeing ghosts at my house. Can you come help me?" Right? And so the old man's like, "There's no such thing as ghosts, whatever." So they go to his house, and he has set up like a surveillance camera outside, and they're watching it from his laptop in his room. And, you know, once a ghost does eventually appear on the camera, it looks like, you know, of course it's like, you know, the girl from The Ring basically, and she's like popping up in front of the camera. And so the main girl, who's basically like the muscle of the group, runs out to go catch the ghost.
Right.
Okay.
And the ghost like, "Oh shit, I've been traced."
And while she's running around looking for the ghost and like breaking things and random stuff is happening, the main guy figures it out, and he's like, you know, he figures out this boy just wanted to spend some time with her, like he has like a crush on her or whatever, right? Not like in the least creepy way possible. Like he wasn't planning on doing anything or anything. He just wanted to spend time with her, right? And so he has figured out that, you know, it was actually the kid dressed up as the ghost, and he like pre-recorded the thing and put it on his laptop to make it look like there was a ghost and all that, just so they could hang out.
Sure.
And so they have a heart-to-heart where he's like, "You know, kid, I was just like you back in, you know," and he has a kind of a funny flashback telling his story. And as their heart-to-heart concludes, and it's been proven that there is no ghosts or any ghosts whatsoever, the main girl bursts through the door with a ghost in her headlock, and she's like, "I caught her, boss!
I got the fucking ghost."
And as the two guys start screaming, they just end the scene there, and we move on to the next case. No further explanation.
That sounds fun.
That's all right. That is almost a like Yakuza sub story.
Yeah. So that is like one example of the vibes of the show,
Sure.
or like in what I think the latest episode, they go to like this big giant mansion for some dinner that's very like classic murder mystery setup, a very,
Sure.
detective murder mystery type of thing. And everyone is super paranoid that someone is going to get murdered, but
because it's just that kind of dinner.
yes, but spoilers, nothing actually happens, but the whole time everyone is just paranoid that someone's going to die, so it's pretty funny. Yeah, so there's that, and then I'll throw one more in there. And the one that got me in the first episode was they got a job to basically do bug extermination at somebody's house, but he gives the wrong instructions to the girl to deal with it, and she ends up going to like a Yakuza building and murders everyone inside.
Oh, okay.
She just pulls a flamethrower out of her uniform and just murders everyone in the building. And
I see.
Yeah, and not as they just got hurt. No, she killed everyone, and it was pretty funny. So that is the kind of stupid humor the show is delivering, and I'm actually enjoying it quite a bit. Like I said, my only kind of caveat is the focus jokes are good, but then there's also just random. They'll just say random things that either I don't understand or just too random to mean anything. So it's a little up and down with the writing a bit, but for the most part, it's a lot of fun. We've got Kana Hanazawa doing her closest,
right? That's right,
closest to Bimbo Gamiga role since, where she is just hamming it up this whole time. She even drops
my preferred form of Kana Hanazawa, honestly.
Yeah, she even drops a rap verse in the ED.
Okay,
so it's a lot of fun. So I am locked in on that one.
The third Kana Hanazawa detective show in 2 seasons.
Yes.
Wait, have they all starred Kana Hanazawa?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh God,
they're all starring Kana Hanazawa. So, but this one is the most closest to the energy I would want for this kind of show. So, I'm glad I stuck with it. And if you're watching it, just try to survive the first segment, and it's I think it's pretty funny afterwards. So, all right, let's talk about another new show, Bullet.
Yeah,
this is directed by GLORIO favorite
Sung-Hoo Park.
I did not get a chance to watch it myself, so I'm going to have to hand it off to you guys.
I have also not seen this yet.
I did see they dropped the whole thing, right? Because I checked Hulu.
They dropped, it's going to be 12 episodes, and they dropped 8.
Okay, most of it.
My understanding is there's a plot cut there. And so the last 4 episodes will drop at the start of next month.
What was this good, or was it an Appare Ranman situation?
We've only watched 2 episodes because we're watching it weekly as God intended.
Sure, of course.
It seems fun enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely would say it definitely clears the Appare Ranman bar. At bare minimum.
I feel like in the season preview we kind of decided that this was kind of a make or break thing for Sung-Hoo Park, right? As far as our perception of him was concerned, at least it was.
Yeah, I think so far, again, we're only 2 episodes in. Sure. We didn't even make it to the 3 episode rule on this one yet. But I think it's charming. It's fun. I think the setting, the premise, it all works pretty well. It is totally going for that a very particular kind of anime America, right? Which I think.
Yeah.
That worked very well in Vanishing Line.
Yeah, there's a lot of Vanishing Line in this in some ways. I think for me, at least so far, again, 2 episodes is not a ton to work with. I'm not entirely sold on the dynamic of the characters yet. The basic premise, right, is you got Gear, who is this I guess not a young boy, a teenage boy,
Renton aged.
Yeah, yes, Renton aged. Yes, Renton Thurston aged. He's he's a spunky mechanic kid. He's good. He does machines. He hangs out with a talking polar bear. Together they do crime. And this mysterious hot lady approaches them with the job to end all jobs. This heist is gonna, this is gonna solve all our problems. We're going to the top. The heist goes wrong, and now they have to set off on an adventure. As a result of like that heist, right? And they got to deliver a MacGuffin, and very standard format, right? Like we got to go on a cool road trip, but also we're wanted, and so we're going to get chased by all these bounty hunters and criminals and gangsters, and and who knows who, right? And so premise, I think it's a solid setup. I'm into what they're setting up here. I'm like not super sold on our actual character, like our main cast yet.
It seems like it's nothing has cleared my this is pretty good bar. I'm like, this is fine. This is very this feels pretty standard for what this show is genre wise, right? Like
it is a little concerning because like the group dynamic is very important for that kind of show, I feel like. And if we haven't gotten there in 2 episodes, which doesn't sound like a lot, but
Polar Bear is probably, would you agree Polar Bear is on top right now just because he's like he's your shitty dirtbag uncle? Like,
oh yeah, he's like the big goofy, like shitty uncle character, right? So like it's the type of archetype that like even like a poorly done version usually is like at bare minimum like pretty good. I think because it's gear, so it's like the main kid. It's his name is literally Shirokuma. It's just White Bear. And then like little robot buddy, but like the little robot buddy has like 3 split personalities. It like revolves between kind of like that one Transformer. And
Refractor.
No, it's God, who is it? Blitzwing? No, who is it?
I can't think of any Transformer that has 3 personalities.
It was a
Transformers animated.
No, it was in Transformers animated. No, it was not Starscream. It was.
He had a bunch of clones.
Okay.
No, but there's a Decepticon in Transformers animated who like his whole thing is he had 3 different vehicle forms, and the gimmick was he had 3 different personalities as a result. Well, whatever. I don't know why that's what I pulled from.
Tell us in the comments who this Transformer is.
And anyway, so it's like I'm not like sold on their dynamic yet. Like I'll put it this way, right? Like, and I know 2 episodes is like not a lot to judge on, but like, episode 1 of Vanishing Line has Sword doing donuts to do his his Makai Knight transformation, and like within 30 seconds, you instantly understand how this is a different Garo from Leon. Like it's. And I haven't really had a moment like that yet. Second episode has like some good bits because like it's them escaping the city, like they're wanted. And so they do the Lupin thing of like the second episode is literally just feels like Sung-Ho Park wanted to like animate specific types of like action set pieces. And so he just invented almost like Ninja Slayer-esque, just invented a new assassin that does the type of set piece he wants to animate. So like there's a lady who fights with wires. There's a strong lady with a hammer. Yeah. There's a
golfer,
right, the evil golfer who golfs like hypersonic bomb. Right? It's like it's all goofy and stupid and over the top and fun. And I think if Bullet can maintain that energy going forward, we're probably in for a good time. I just do hope that they kind of, again, I don't, when I say sell me on the characters, I don't mean like, oh, I need to like be invested in their personal struggles. I mean,
right, but you want to think they're cool people, right? You want to enjoy the ride along with them.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds like maybe I don't need to go watch this then yet until further notice.
Yeah, I think we'll keep you posted, right? Like,
Yeah.
Sounds a bit like it's on the bubble, so to speak.
Has there at least been
like-
cool action stuff with
Oh
Sungho
yeah,
Park?
yeah. They're like again, like like especially in the second episode where they're escaping from all these bounty hunters, and it's just an excuse for like really cool action set pieces, just like real Sungho Park shit, right? Like it really clicked when they got attacked by the like razor wire lady, and it's just like I feel like I have seen this specific Sungho Park action scene like a dozen times,
I mean, like having a microfiber wire sicko is always fun as well.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
Like
a classic.
there is a pretty good joke where like there are the two bounty hunters who are those two guys, your Bulk and Skulk, basically.
Yes.
Like
But I think it's what the Sushimaru Tempura.
yes,
Sure, that's pretty good.
and
More
destroy
like
Inu,
Yeah,
who is just like
Straw Dog.
which is
Just the dog from Undertale. Like,
it's just the Toby
buff
Fox
dog,
Avatar dog, but on top of a like Cho Aniki body.
So just the Toby Fox Undertale dog then.
Yes, and like it's just they have there's a really like funny bit with like because they're like recurring bounty hunters in that episode, and like God, it's just like the characters are wearing a really bad, unconvincing disguise. And like they're so sure because like these two are like two of the top rated. Oh, by the way, this is a world where the assassins are rated. There's an assassin's ranking.
They all show up with their ranking number,
right? Rank 11, Sushimaru Tempura or whatever, right? And like so, these are the two highest ranking assassins that have been seen in the show so far. And they're like, oh my god, these are like top 10 rankers. They're gonna see through us immediately. And they're just like, hey, old lady, weird looking old lady with robotic voice. Like, have you seen like these people were hunting for their bounty? And it's funny, right? It works,
Don't you want
and
our
it's
autograph?
right, like yeah, they're like, oh, you wanted our autograph, cool. And then so they and then they confront our heroes at the end of the episode, and our heroes like, oh my god, they must have seen through us this whole time, and they immediately retort with, that disguise, you got us really good with that disguise, but now we know for real that you're a target. And it's like there's bits and pieces there, like there's some stuff here. I think I just like the right parts are here. I think I just need to see a more favorable ratio of them.
Yeah.
Is it just like lacking, I guess, something distinct about it? Because I don't know. It doesn't sound like it's doing anything like unique, maybe, which isn't always a bad thing, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like
it is it's very much a pastiche of like a lot of different things, and I think maybe like it's got like shades of Ninja Slayer, it's got shades of Redline, it's got shades of like Vanishing Line, like it's
I remember seeing it and thinking
nothing has quite sparked the explosion, right? Like
right.
Yeah.
Nothing getting you excited about watching it next week, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I could have been worse. Although not exactly a glowing endorsement from you guys, but
I mean, it kind of just reinforces the impression I had that perhaps Sungho Park works better when he is deployed as part of a team, if that makes sense. Perhaps he needs somebody else to be holding the reins. But we'll see.
Vanishing Line a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we're gonna watch this, right? Like it's not like bad or anything. I think it's just it's not blowing us away.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll check in since it's all out, so you guys can keep the 2-episode pace.
But I'm seeing here, G, that it's got the same series composition as Uma Musume Cinderella Grey.
Wait, really? Okay, well, look, Cinderella Grey is coming after I watch the main TV series and the movie. Season 2 is coming out in fall, so I do need to catch up though, so that I can properly cover it. But also that's an adaptation of a manga. But anyways, no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's just look. A job's a job.
Indeed. All right.
Well, let's move on and talk about Dan Da Dan season 2. Anything exciting happened since last time?
Yeah, we got the big
Yeah.
climactic thing.
I think what
Okay, would you care to elaborate?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think what we're all feeling is like, so the latest episode was basically the climax of the latest arc, going the small town with a dark secret arc.
Yes.
And I think this has emphasized more to me than ever that, like, look, I know we all don't really like when things get put on streaming, especially Netflix, because of the binge format. But I think one advantage streaming can have, as we're seeing with like Takopi, for example, is that you are not restricted to broadcast television like season lengths, because I think the version of Dan Da Dan that is just a continuous 16 episodes, I think this is a pretty great finale to that hypothetical anime.
Yes.
Because it does all the things you want at the end of a shonen arc, right? The heroes.
This definitely feels like the biggest scale event that has happened in Dan Da Dan yet. Like, the stakes are the highest, the things which are happening are the most world affecting.
Yeah, and I think they do. I think the payoff on a lot of this stuff is actually pretty decent. Like they, you do all the classic shonen stuff, right? Oh, the friends we helped along the way are here to save us in our time of need, right? The characters all kind of get to do their cool thing. They all get their moment to get their hits in on the like final boss of the arc, so to speak. Like, I actually really like that, like, this arc, Momo is the one who is mostly carrying the emotional arc of this storyline.
I'm with you on that. I really like that Momo kind of steps to center stage for the finale part of this arc, because she has been she's largely been taking a backseat on the action stuff for the show so far, so it's cool that she gets her moment in the spotlight here.
I think maybe where some of our weird feelings are is like we're like 4 episodes into season 2, which is like after a 6-month break, which is
right. I mean, this is what we talked about last time, right? Like, this is theoretically somebody watching this in 2026 will just watch the 16 episodes and it'll all feel like a nice, sequential package. Whereas watching it now, you kind of had the momentum killed and not enough time to ramp it back up, right?
Kinda, yeah.
And then it's like, well, what do you do with your remaining however many episodes, right? But I mean, you've read the manga, so you know what's happening next. But like, did they set up the next arc or whatever?
I think, kind of. Like, I think what they're probably going to use the rest of season 2 on is like to Dan Da Dan's credit, it's something I've actually always rather liked about it is it is not like a shonen manga that goes from big arc to big arc like constantly. Like, it is a shonen that actually understands the value of downtime. And so, like, I think we have some slice of life chapters ahead. We have some like still like shonen, like, monster of the week moments, but it's a manga, or it's a work that understands it after like a big long like arc like this. Sometimes you just want to go back to, like, I don't know, beating up ghosts in the street for an episode or 2.
Yeah.
And so I think there will be like another like kind of like not major shonen climax this season, but I think there will be like moments they can kind of, as Science Saru's done up till now, kind of pump up a bit visually.
Yeah.
But I do expect that the rest of this season will be a little lower key, which again is just like one of those weird aspects of like, what do you do when you have to adapt a pre-existing source material, and you don't have that much flexibility in where you can like mix and match things.
Right. Well, I feel like when I was watching Dan Da Dan, it was the more downtime stuff that I enjoyed more than the actual shonen action parts.
Yeah.
So
I think part of why this arc doesn't really click for me is I just don't really feel attached to Gigi as a character at all. And so, like, all of the stuff involving him being possessed by evil eye and that stuff, it kind of feels like a sideshow. And it is kind of a sideshow because it doesn't
kinda is,
actually
yeah.
have any effect on
Right.
the main story, so to speak. And yeah, I think like the fights are cool. Like his evil football of souls is neat,
Yes.
but it just kind of feels a little to what end there. I also think that it's kind of a cop out. The ending is kind of a cop out where like Hot Grandma shows up out of nowhere and the bad guy's defeated in like 30 seconds.
Right.
It's a little
Right.
anticlimactic.
It's a right. Every shonen battle manga has the bit where, or these days anyway, has the segment where the adults or the previous generation or the teachers or what have you show up and save all the kids. Right.
Look, it's
as
All
your
Might at the
preview
end of
how
season
strong,
one.
how strong
right.
will they be
Is-
one day. And yes, that's a very season one ender kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like
And-
All Might showing up to punch a guy.
And I don't
Right.
think that's a bad idea, but considering that like Hot Grandma already had a fairly major role in like the first arc of this show, leaning on it again so soon feels a little a little indulgent.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean,
You don't
hey,
wanna
even,
have,
even Naruto knew that while Kakashi's over here fighting Zabuza, the kids have to deal with Haku.
Yes.
Right? Like,
I mean, at least they come up with a pretty like fun solution, right? It's not like Hot
Yeah.
Grandma just wins the fight through brute force, right? They do
absolutely. It's
have a
clever.
pretty
It's
fun,
funny.
scheme. Yeah.
It's not a Jujutsu Kaisen Gojo situation, right?
No.
Yeah.
I will. I mean, it's not really spoiler, but I will just say like Hot Grandma is hot. She's not that strong. Not that she falls off immediately after this arc, but like, look, she is not she is not the muscle of this crew.
Right.
No, and I think, there's a flip side to that, which is it's good that they're not just sidelining her, but just the way it's particularly done here, especially after, as we said just a few minutes ago, like Momo has been carrying most of this arc and has even, done some fairly clever stuff by herself. The fact that she doesn't actually get to sort of sign off on this stuff feels a little bit like we got cheated.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess it'll be on to new things then for Dawn to Dawn next time. But maybe that'll be a good thing. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move along and talk about Call of the Night Season 2. And in these...
How's that going?
These episodes, we dare to ask the question, what if your, big titty goth mommy was also a nurse with the nurse uniform?
Okay.
A hot nurse. Interesting idea. A bold new concept.
Yeah. I know Zig, it's hard because you wouldn't be able to look this up online, but
Yes.
it is the thing. No, that aside, a lot of it's going to sound funny after saying that. A lot of lore in these two episodes, a lot of background information, setting up
a lot of world building to establish hot nurses in this setting.
Yes, because it was very important to the world building. But we get the reemergence of Anko, aka Magane Colombo, in the first episode, reminding us she is the villain. As we are, it's revealed vampires have another weakness that even they weren't aware of, which is if they come in contact with objects from their pre-vampire days, it can actually like physically harm them. And
sure.
It is revealed that Anko, aka Magane Colombo, we knew she was a vampire, but the reason why she is able to kill vampires is because she knows the secret, and so she poses as a private investigator, but she's really using her investigator skills to find objects from vampires' past so that she can kill them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So aside from leading to the hottest scene in this entire series so far, where she stabs a guy like 20 times while laughing maniacally.
Tell us how you
All
really
right, all
feel,
right.
Joe.
This kind of sets up the next plot arc where the main kid's like wants to protect Nazuna by finding out about her past so that he can, like, I don't know, eliminate objects from her past. It's not a good plan. But he's a kid, so
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that plan has definitely never gone wrong and been co-opted by the
not a
bad
great
guys
plan, but
for their own use, let's say.
yes. And so in the second episode, that is where they start investigating, and it seems like the big titty goth mommy vampire lady knows quite a bit about Nazuna's past, because as they continue to make their own vampire mechanics in this show, apparently once you turn into a vampire, you quickly like forget what happened before you were a vampire. So
Okay.
Whatever. But it's all convenient plot devices. But
Yeah.
so they dig into her. So they try to dig into Nazuna's past, and we get a flashback of the. I should probably remember her actual name and not just keep calling her Big Titty Goth Mommy, but
It's much funnier when you do.
It's much funnier.
We just kept talking about hot grandma, so look, it's we're bad with names here.
Yes, so
Yeah.
we get some flashbacks with her where she is talking to somebody that looks exactly like Nazuna, but much like Kowloon Generic Romance, she does not talk or act like her at all. Like it's like she's even smoking a cigarette, so it's some real Reiko B energy here, if we're gonna call back to last season. And that's kind of it for this episode, but they're opening up like a mystery of, who is this, what is it, where does Nazuna actually come from?
How are
she
they
turn into a
connected?
vampire and
Yeah.
all that? And
Has it been established yet? Like, yes, like where or when she's from?
They establish she's 30 or 40 years old. Right?
Yeah, they don't. The only thing
Okay.
she knows is that she is probably around 40 years old.
All right,
Like,
she's
'cause
not.
that's
She's not.
she has
like,
memories
yeah.
of the past, like enough memories to basically fill in that she's somewhere near 40 years old.
But
she
she's
doesn't
not
remember.
She's not a 1300-year-old.
No, that's part of the
Yeah.
jokes. Like, she's this comes up in this episode. She's like, she's embarrassed, not because she feels like she's old or whatever, but she's like, God damn it, I'm an immortal vampire, and then you think I'm going to be like hundreds of years old or something, and then I'm just like 40, which is like not old enough to be cool. I'm just like a middle-aged person. So, which I take offense to that,
that's pretty
but
funny. Yeah.
Whatever.
Mhm.
So yes, so but she doesn't have any memories of how she turned or whatever, and so that's what they're kind of picking away at. So
Right. So conveniently, we do not have to address that. To become a vampire, she had to fall in love with a vampire.
Yes,
but
of
if
course.
she can't remember the person with whom she fell in love with, they cannot be a romantic rival.
yeah. So the interesting twist to this is that in the flashback, we do see that whoever this person is that looked exactly like Nazuna is actually the one that turned Big Titty Goth Mommy, who was in love with her. So
I'm never expecting it because it's the thing.
so I'm just gonna keep saying it.
Yeah.
Do we need a relationship chart for this one too?
Yeah, I think so. But
Also, because it's a vampire story, you have like a pre-turning relationship chart and a post-turning relationship chart. Right?
but it was pretty funny where they're asking questions, and even as the audience, you start to assume that Big Titty Goth Mommy is the one that turned Nazuna, and maybe that should be the episode title. But they just assume that, and even as the audience, that seems where it's headed, and so they just straight up ask, and they're like, "Did you turn Nazuna?" And she's like, "No, what is wrong with you?" And then they get into the flashback, but then who is this person that looks like Nazuna and all that. So it's an interesting setup for more plot. Definitely, they're sticking with the end of season 1 became much more plot heavy, and they're sticking with that into season 2, which I'm okay with. It's still like pretty lighthearted vibes. They're still like kind of hanging out while they solve the mysteries or whatever. So it's not like it got like melodramatic or anything, but gives it a little focus, I guess. In a way, maybe I do kind of miss the just hanging out, talking at night stuff, but they're trying to sprinkle a little bit of that in there too. So,
Right.
But yeah, show's still pretty good.
Cool.
So,
How big are the titties?
see, okay, look,
Enter your address.
Actually, don't answer that. I can't hear the answer.
I'm about to, yeah,
yes.
they're gonna cut off your connection, Zig.
Yes,
I was probably gonna say
come for you if.
I was probably gonna say some things I shouldn't have said anyway, so maybe we should move on.
No, we care deeply about our UK listening audience, and we'd hate for the GLORIO chat to become unavailable in that region.
Unavailable. Yeah, you're gonna pull this up on YouTube and get the unavailable in your region message thing. But yeah.
Anyway, that's why we're going to talk about Panty and Stocking next.
Talk about new Panty and Stocking and Garterbelt, which is going to be way easier on the censors. Is this okay? At least in my memory, I can't think of another TV length television. Well, theoretically, I'm going to say TV length anime. I don't think this is actually airing on television, but
I believe there are two versions of this.
Okay, it's the first time I can remember seeing full frontal male nudity, but maybe I'm wrong. If any show were to do it, it would be this one.
Yes. So, I mean, I don't know what is there to say about episodes 2 and 3 of New Panty and Stocking with Garterbelt. It feels very much like this is just return to form, right? We're just picking up where we left off. You know, like if episode 1, like I'm starting to treat episode 1 almost like episode 0 or like secret episode 14, right? Like that was actually
the freaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because episode 2 is definitely the like, let's remind you what Panty and Stocking is like, right?
And it's like basically a remake of the first episode of Panty and Stocking, right? Just with now the demons are here, like
right. Scanty and knee socks are here too, right? So we get we get that fun setup. We get the fantastic mashup of both the duo's theme songs. I need this soundtrack immediately. I'm fiending for it. I'm going insane. I am, you need
to listen to Theme of Super Gaijin. Immediately.
Like the soundtrack goes so fucking hard in this show already.
We get the most important return of all, which is Scanty and Nisox's ridiculous limo 4x4 thing.
Right? Yes. God, I wish I could remember what it was called because it also has a dumb name like everything else. But yeah, good. You know, fun first half. I think second half of episode 2 is probably where it really becomes. You know, the Panty and Stocking you remember.
A personal call out, perhaps.
Yeah, so right, the second episode is called The Body Card, and we're like, okay, where is this going? Right, like, okay, Panty has been canceled. People won't even have sex with her anymore. How's she gonna make money? And It's she's gonna get her hands on the Black Lotus, basically.
No, because the Black Lotus shows up later. It's the Blue Eyes White Uncle.
Right, the Blue Eyes, right? Because we're playing what were we called? What's it called again?
Magic the Uncle or like something.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Uncle the Gathering or something.
Uncle the Gathering.
Yeah. Why uncles? Why are all the jokes about uncles?
I guess it's just funny to show middle-aged man dick on screen. I don't know.
I guess, but like.
But yeah, it's so, and then it basically becomes a Yu-Gi-Oh parody, right? Completely, despite the fact that it's like based on magic, it's like doing the life points counter.
It is pretty much 50-50 Yu-Gi-Oh and magic.
There are enough specifics about both, right?
And it's very good.
That one was alright. Yeah,
it's saying out loud, that a bottomless old man stuck a dildo up his ass that turned into a Gurren Lagann drill.
And then did the Gurren Lagann pose as well.
Yes, yes.
They did the shot.
You know.
This is the power of Black Dildotus. Like,
Seto Kaiba. There are no weak uncles in my deck.
Yes.
Very, very good. But yeah, pretty. Sorry, go ahead.
I like to think that they were trying to make a Magic the Gathering parody, but just like the overwhelming cultural shadow of Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of just interposed itself into the story, and like they had to include a bunch of those tropes as well.
Well, the Yu-Gi-Oh gives you the Yu-Gi-Oh gives you like the anime framework, right?
Yeah.
So
like I think it's just like Yu-Gi-Oh is the most iconic.
Animated card game, like
probably. But so it makes a lot of sense to draw from it. But yes, this is the thing, right? That like Panty Stocking has always been good at is like because I think we just talked about like fake anime America and Bullet, but I think like Panty Stocking shows that Trigger is like the one studio that most consistently like keys into like highly specific aspects of American culture and pop culture in ways like there's that bit in the first half where they're like, how do we get to that diner? It's like, well, you turn right at the dispensary, go down three blocks, turn left at the second dispensary, drive past the third dispensary, and it's like so obvious that like, oh right, Trigger visits Anime Expo so many times.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah,
like they know that. Oh yeah, that's just what downtown LA looks like.
I'm imagining Maishi writing this episode in the backseat of his Uber while on his way to Anime Expo, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Also, they just say weed dispensary and depict people doing drugs on screen,
right?
Which for anime is kind of insane, honestly.
Yes.
Like,
no, of course, it is the very cartoony portrayal of getting high on weed, which, like, it's fine,
right? Okay, before we get to the other stuff, I'm just going to throw this in here. I thought that segment was fun. I thought all the other segments were kind of not great.
I don't know. The Fast and Furious one.
Oh my god!
I
didn't care for that one.
Oh man!
Look, I get why. I get why you would not care for it.
For reference, I've seen maybe 2 Fast and Furious movies.
Right. I got the joke, but I've not seen enough Fast and Furious to like really understand how funny it is. Right.
Yeah, like I saw enough to at least understand like the character references and stuff. But like,
right. I got that it was like a bunch of shot references, but I haven't seen those shots for myself, so I can only find it so funny, right?
I don't even think that like the humor is predicated on having a deep understanding of the franchise, because look, it's the Fast and the Furious. I think it's just because it is so unexpected, and also
it's
because
the absurdity,
or more precisely, it's the moment where the fucking sperm who looks like Dominic Toretto just says it's about family. And, like, it's like, yes, you nailed the one joke everybody makes about Fast and Furious.
The song they play like in the intro is like it's an uncanny like copy of "We Own It" by 2 Chainz and Wiz Khalifa. Like it's the commitment to the bit for me. Like,
yes, absolutely. That's it. It's like it's the fact that they show them all having a cookout and drinking Corona, even though it is this ridiculous, like. And it has one of the greatest final shots in anime history, where they do the fucking, "See you again" parody.
Yeah, oh my
They're
god,
splitting up to go down fallopian tubes.
Oh my god! Like, okay, so like I think. Okay, so I mean, yes, look, Zig and I are the Fast and Furious likers here, and
look, I will cop this. Iro said at the time, perhaps they're leaning a bit too heavily on like the movie parodies and stuff. And yes, absolutely. Is this like fish in a barrel shit? Absolutely. Is this like lowest common denominator stuff?
Oh, totally.
Yes, absolutely. Could you argue that like they're going for the easy joke? Absolutely. But I thought it was pretty funny. That's the only defense I have.
I think for me, it's also, I don't know how big Fast and Furious, or my apologies, as it is known in Japan, Wild Speed.
Yes.
I don't know how popular Wild Speed is in Japan, but it's like, because I think there's often like an assumption, maybe correct or not, right? That like, well, Japanese memes are different from American memes, right? Like what we find funny is, or what jokes we make about a franchise might be different from what like a different geographic, demographic might make, right? And so it's like the fact that like the Trigger Boys nailed all the like specific joke, like in jokes that like the American Fast and Furious fan base know, right? It's about family. The Coronas in the cookout, right? The submarine scene, right? Like it's I think it's just right. Like the we'll see you again scene, right? It's like. I think we're all used to Trigger like riffing on Western culture, but usually that's in the context of like cartoons or comics or
and it's in the context of it's in the context of isn't it funny that these Japanese dudes are making a reference to Western culture, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get
I
it.
got no defense other than I laughed a lot.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
look, humor is subjective, right? So I'm not gonna say people shouldn't have found this funny. I just didn't particularly find it that funny. And we also had the Scanty and Stocking team.
Yes, Stocking and Scanty with the Garterbelt, where they go to the ninja dojo. Run by ninja.
Oh yeah, I mean, run by the Mandalorian, basically.
Yeah. For some reason,
that one also just kind of felt, I don't know, a little aimless to me. But
I think I was hoping that like mixing up the dynamics would lead to like maybe something a little more outlandish, like because I think Scanty and Knee Socks were such fun foils to the sisters in season 1, right? Like it's, and I think that you could probably never recreate the magic of like their first introduction, but I think I was hoping, oh, okay, we're gonna like mix up the duos, right? And that's gonna like create like some unexpected like situations, but it kind of plays it kind of exactly as you kind of expect it would, right?
Yeah,
right.
There was nothing like. I guess it wasn't awful, but there was nothing like particularly remarkable about that segment to me. Which, again, given that they're trying to mix things up, you would hope they'd find some angle on it or something. I don't know, but
you're not into the now recurring character Super Guy Jin.
Oh, that yeah. You know what? Okay, I do have to get this off because it's gonna, I think, affect my opinion for the rest of the series, but these episodes reminded me that I liked Panty and Stocking. I don't love it. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
I think that's fair.
I think we talked a little bit about that in the previous show. I think Zig, you also mentioned you were in the same boat where
I respected it. I thought it was occasionally hilarious. I think I'm a little warmer on it based on these 3 episodes because I think I'm a little bit older and I can see more craft in the crassness at this point. But I think it was always a show that blew hot and cold. It has high highs and low lows, but based on this, I don't think that's going to change a huge amount.
Right. I mean, I think it's like I'm kind of to be clear, I'm still also enjoying City a great deal, but I kind of have a similar feeling with both, where because they are both kind of sketch comedies, right? They're kind of bit based. That like. The strength and weakness of that, right, is that like there's a sort of unpredictability to it. And I guess if I was being generous, my take is, well, that one didn't really hit for me, but maybe the next one will, right? And like that's that's kind of how.
That's always the strength and weakness of like sketch-based comedy shows, right? If you're not into this bit, then wait a few seconds because there will be another bit along it.
Right, like we haven't even talked about like technically this 3rd episode had 3 segments, right? Like we didn't even talk about like the influencers, quarter episode because like I don't know, it's like look, haha, influencer culture, am I right? But there's nothing really novel there.
That was probably like the worst one of them all, but it was short. It was short, though.
I mean, that's the thing. Like that can barely carry 5-minute segment,
Yes,
and then but also then the show knows to move on, right?
Yeah, it was
which is the
exactly as
nice
long
thing.
as it needed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you what. We got the montage of all the girls in like fun outfits, and
Right.
like
That
that's
seemed like the real
Yes.
point of that segment,
yeah,
right?
basically. But yeah, it's and I think my assumption is, I mean, I think I'm going to continue having a good time with Panty Stocking, but I think what I assume is going to happen is like kind of like the first Panty Stocking. It's going to be hot and cold, and occasionally it's, you know, kind of like episode 1. It's going to blow the doors off the hinges, and then sometimes you're going to go, why did you do this? And you know,
Yep.
Yeah, I think the thing which made me sort of check out of the original series was like a segment in like the 7th or 8th episode that's just like an extended riff on sperm, and I was like, I don't think this is particularly funny, and I'm sure there will be bits like
But
that.
now that
And
now
yet
that
somehow-
the sperm has been Diesel,
But if the sperm are-
now it's
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, but now
Dominic
now
Toretto.
yes,
Yeah.
I mean that makes all the difference.
I can't. I mean, of course they did. I can't believe they fucking. I mean, I guess this is the submarine bit. Is that like the Fast and Furious like set piece? Like,
No, I think to me the Fast and Furious set piece is the safe from
it's a
Fast
safe,
5,
right? Yeah. I would
I
agree,
know that
but
one.
Yeah.
but like
I know
the
that one,
the the submarine bit was in all the trailers, right? So and
Right,
it's a much
right.
easier thing to do than a safe bit, you know.
Yeah.
And like I don't know. I think it's really funny that people are still parodying The Rock like 30 years later. Parodies of The Rock will always be funny
yes,
to me.
yes.
Maybe I'm just basic like that.
Yeah. All right. Well,
What do they say? Can you smell what the cock is cooking or whatever?
Something like that.
It's just like,
No,
yeah.
something
Again,
along
is it
those
the
lines.
easiest joke in the world? Yes, but did it make me laugh? Also, yes.
another
Never go broke playing to the cheap seats.
Yes.
another episode title contender. Although any of these would get me killed in the
yeah.
YouTube algorithm. So
Banned in the UK.
and banned
Sure.
and banned in the UK now. So yeah. All right. Let's move on to talk about Gachiakuta.
Mm-hmm.
Still watching this.
Yeah,
Both of
it
both of you.
seems fine. It's
Okay.
nothing about this is blowing me. Nothing about this is blowing me away. I am quite enjoying the Taki Wasaki soundtrack.
Yes,
But,
it's nice to hear it again.
It's very, very standard shonen battle stuff to me. It's like we were watching episode 3, and I'm calling out every plot beat 2
He
minutes
did.
before it
I
happens.
can confirm.
Right.
He with terrifying accuracy, the type of accuracy that could only be honed by a person who has read 3
Many
or
of
4
these,
shonen
yeah.
in their life.
An entire 3. Yeah.
To be fair,
yeah,
Ivo is
so-
also good at this for non-shonen properties as well. So
Yeah, I understand the minds of children.
So the thing I would say about Gachiakuta is, in many ways, Gachiakuta is like it's certainly not it. You know, we've said this like a million times already, so I don't feel a need to super relitigate it. But you know, it feels like a shonen mangaka debut, right? It feels like it's kind of rough, and it kind of feels like the author is like kind of trying to find their footing. And it's hard to tell, is that the writer's inexperience? Is that the editorial style of that magazine? Like
right.
telling them to do things a certain way?
This is not Jump during color. This is
No, it's
one of the other ones.
yes, I think the one of the main competitors. Yes,
There's
but,
other ones.
It's in shonen. It's in Weekly Shonen magazine.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, because the thing is, like, I think why I say that is because I think Gachiakuta, it has a really neat style. I think the character designs are fun. I think the artwork is good and eye-catching. Like, that's definitely when we talk about shonen, and we're all like, well, we all kind of know that shonen falls into like basically 3 or 4 like broad archetypes, and then what you do after that is like, but what aesthetic is it, or what setting, right? That's the coat of paint you put on it, right? And I think the coat of paint on Gachiakuta is very good, but
Right.
Yeah.
Has anything? Yeah, we did a deep dive on that last time, right, with Aquan. But has anything notable happened in the most recent episodes? That's
Well, Well,
worth
we are only
mentioning.
on episode 3 because it took a
Or-
week break for some other
Okay.
event.
The one new episode was it horse racing? Did they have to?
No, I don't
postpone it
think
for horse
so.
racing?
I think it was. I think it was like it might have been like an election debate or something. I don't know. It's
No.
but,
Much less important.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Get this out of the way. Where are my horses? Or my Tom Cruise marathon?
Golf.
Or golf. Yes.
Yeah.
But
So one
I mean,
episode.
that's the thing, right? It's like because we're still only 3 episodes in. It's like just Shonen sometimes just drags its feet to get to the cool stuff, like in ways that are
Yeah.
confounding. It's like is there really any like find me the Shonen fan that's like, well, I don't think I can watch this series unless I understand how the powers work. It's like
Right.
if you exist, like shut up, go back in the locker. But like
Right, and so I don't know. We run into the thing this episode where it's like in the first half of the episode, they sit down at a table and the mentor man explains the basics of how the power set works. But then we get into a quick battle with like the rival / mentor lesser, and within the course of that battle, we sort of see how the powers work.
right.
But the mangaka, and I don't know, it feels rude to say in their inexperience, but like
Or like
they felt
do-
the need that had to be explained before we saw it, right? So that we would
Right.
get what's going on in this battle. It's like I think I could have figured it out from the battle, right?
Just to be clear, the power set in this like story is not like it's fun, but it's not like complicated. Like these are not like this is
Right.
not like how does King Crimson work? This is
We just
So
don't know.
complicated, nobody
Yeah.
knows.
this is it's
Global Phantasm. Like,
yeah, it's a global
my
phantasm,
my
right?
special tool.
yeah, exactly, right.
I mean, I feel like this is an increasing trend of modern media and anime in general. Like, what was the Monster Raises Girl show that we were watching?
Clever
where we
Test.
talked- Clever Test, yeah, where it's like now
God,
it has
yeah.
now it has become acceptable to to have lore. Every show feels like it has to dump all of its lore on you at once so people can start talking about it.
And I think it's a bad. I think I personally, again, I don't know. Maybe there are these people out there. Like I don't know. Like I don't talk to them, right? But like at least I think for us here on this recording,
Yeah.
I would rather just see the cool stuff first, and then once I'm
Yeah.
invested in the cool stuff,
Right.
then later you can explain to me. Well,
Yes,
you see, I was able to
is the
do
correct
that.
They
way.
don't, they don't talk about fucking chakra in Naruto until we're into the Zabuza arc, and Kakashi's like, I guess I should give you guys a lesson.
I mean,
Right.
the answer is lore is only important as it provides context
Yes.
and meaning to the story that
I'll
is
bang that-
happening
I'll-
right now.
I'll bang that fucking table.
Yeah,
But the problem is now, because people have made, hobbies and careers out of dissecting
wikis.
lore.
Gachiakuta episode 3 explained.
Yes.
Oh.
Like
All
now,
things you missed in Gachiakuta episode 3.
I
now
can see the
every show
YouTube
has
thumbnail with some guy doing the YouTube thumbnail face, and
Yeah.
yeah.
but like that has meant that like a lot of authors, particularly in let's say more commercial genres like shonen, have kind of gotten the idea that lore is in itself a good thing, right? If you have a lot of lore, that means there's lots of red meat for the fans to go for, and that just doesn't make for very good storytelling.
I think it's
Yeah.
particularly frustrating in a sense because like manga is a visual medium, and so you can show us these things visually, and I will get I have an understanding. Just if I watched that episode on mute, I would understand, and also turned off the subtitles. I would understand that if Recto grabs something, he powers it up, right?
right. Yeah,
And like you could say a lot of things about like light novels, but it's like because that's a text medium, I have a little bit more understanding of we have to explain this thing because we only have text and we can't show
Right.
it in a picture. But
Right.
but when you can show it in a picture and you're
Yeah.
still stopping to spend a bunch of time explaining it to
Yeah.
me
I
before
feel like it's-
it happens.
I feel
And
like
even
it's... Go ahead, Zig. You can.
Even in text as well, there is a
Yeah.
way to
There are
metaphorically
ways,
show,
yeah.
not tell. Right, like you inform the reader by things happening in the context of the world rather
Um,
than stopping to lore dump
right.
them.
I'm a proponent of telling in the right contexts, but yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
And
I
this
feel
is
like-
why, again, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I feel like it's telling that all of our discussion on Gachiakuta has basically been analysis of shonen manga and media in general, and not anything meaningful
Yes.
about the actual
Yeah.
show itself.
I feel bad for that, right? Because here's the thing.
Right.
I think
the graffiti's
like,
great.
it's a cool looking show. Again, like Kei Orana, she's like a fantastic artist.
Mhm.
It's almost like have more faith in your art. It's really good. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
have more faith that people can pick up on it,
Well-
and that's why I say this feels like, because I think she's done one shots before, but I think this is her first serialization, and so that's why I say I don't mean to like cast aspersions when I say inexperience. I just mean I think you can tell that there's like not quite the like fully formed confidence here to like
Mhm.
Yeah.
show
we
not
see-
tell.
We might see experienced authors do the same thing too, right? It's just
Oh sure,
sometimes
yeah,
it's just
definitely.
bad storytelling, but
Right,
yeah.
right, and
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, if the most interesting thing about this is the context of the medium and not the actual show itself, maybe that says something. But
I think
yeah,
it will.
if it looks
I think-
nice, that helps.
Right. So I think one thing it probably will have going in its favor is that we just looked this up today. It is a continuous 2-core season. It won't be taking breaks.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
God, a unicorn.
I know. I think for this show specifically,
Unicorn was a 6-episode OVA over many years.
Okay.
I think that will be important for it because again, what I know of the manga, it does get better. It maybe takes a little longer to get better than you'd like, and sometimes that's fine when you're reading a manga week to week. I think for like a television anime, a 6-month break in the middle of this would kill this show. I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like it needs.
If it's already going to take you 9 months to tell your story, then yeah, take.
I mean,
Yeah,
look,
like-
look at what it's done for our enthusiasm for Dan to Dan, which
I
is
know.
pretty good. So,
Yeah.
Like yes, I think Gachiakuta needs every shred of momentum it can get, and I think being continuous will help that. I think
Mhm.
it's just a question of like, can it get to the treats fast enough for
Yeah.
the viewing audience?
Well, maybe we'll see next time when you have 2 whole episodes.
I know, right?
To talk about.
Luxury.
So
I got like the fucked up thing is I know that next episode is also going to be exposition, so
Mhm.
Yeah. We'll get there. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on to the summer Hikaru died. Unfortunately, I have still not had a chance to watch this yet. I do want to get to it eventually,
Mhm.
but you guys have kept up on it, right?
I think we're all
I am-
behind.
or
Besides,
some-
Yeah.
So am I the only one who's up
I
to
think
date?
so.
Okay.
I've only seen the first 2 episodes.
Did we talk about the first 2 episodes last time? I think we
Yes.
did, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and we're now on episode 4. So, well, let's start talking about episode 3 then, right? Have you guys watched? Have you watched episode 3,
No,
Eero?
I've not had a chance to.
Okay. Well, then I guess
Sorry.
I'll.
But also, I am. Go nuts.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just spoil whatever you need to spoil.
Okay, so I think. So the good news is I think the show continues to be really interesting. Like, I
Good.
think they are doing a really good job of like balancing the tension, right? Of what's his name, Yoshiki, and his like feelings about
Mhm.
about the Hikaru. Well,
Yes.
the Hikaru that is the
Hikaru,
current Hikaru.
in quotation marks, right? Like,
Fake
Right.
Haru.
Yeah.
And like the self-loathing and the consternation, the internal anguish over it. I think there's some good developments here. Well, good in the sense of interesting. I don't know if good in terms of like healthy or good for the people involved, but
Well,
good
that-
is in
That wouldn't be any fun. So
Good for the
No.
audience.
yeah. So episode 3, did episode 2 introduce the middle-aged woman?
She talks to him at like the grocery store, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
you
and
gotta
she's
stay
like,
away from the thing,
right, and the implication is that the older woman, she has experience with this situation, right?
She gave him a card, right?
A phone number, Rie. Rie
Oh,
is
yeah,
her name.
yeah.
Anyway, so episode 3 has Yoshiki kind of in like, the depths of his like self-loathing and anguish about the situation. He decides to finally reach out to Rie and talk with her, and she basically lays it out, right? That like, I mean, it's she basically intimates that she had a similar situation happen in her family, that she also had a situation where somebody came back wrong, that there is foul spirits afoot. This idea that like there have always been malevolent spirits inhabiting the mountain of this like town,
Yeah.
and that
I was going to say, because when we saw the old lady die, we had like an assembly of the Bookhouse Boys to say
Yes.
that whatever the evil spirit was out again. So there seems to be some sort of generational knowledge that not precisely the nature of the evil in the mountain, but something bad is there that they have warned about throughout the generation.
For sure. Right? And the thing they keep saying is like, those who are spiritually attuned have felt the malevolence of that mountain disappear. And rather than that be a cause for like comfort,
that means it's not there anymore. That means it's moved somewhere else. Right?
Yes. And so that is the implication, right? Is that it's not that it's left; it is that now it lives amongst us. And there's not really a resolution there, other than like Rie like continues to emphasize to Yoshiki that like, look, he will look like him, he will sound like him, he will talk like him, but the longer you let this go, the more it is going to hurt you.
It is not him. Run. Yeah.
And well, Yoshiki does kind of confront Hikaru in episode 3, and Hikaru kind of loses control of his powers, kind of becomes the like amorphous mass again, and like briefly tries to subsume Yoshiki before like he like regains control. And it's a really good, like terrifying, but also like in some ways darkly heartwarming bit, because like Hikaru is extremely apologetic about this. Like there's there's the like subtext of like the implication of like sexual assault here. Like Hikaru forcibly like forces his amorphous goo into Yoshiki, like
right, yes.
And like
Darth Marangi spinning in his grave.
And like Hikaru's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to, I can't control it. It's just sometimes I have these feelings, right? And like Yoshiki decides, to not only forgive Hikaru, but that like, you know what? Even a fake Hikaru is better than no Hikaru at all, right? And like kind of has this really potentially dark rationalization that, he just, because Hikaru said, he can't control his powers, right? So Yoshiki's like, that's what it is. Like he just can't control it. He's like a child. He's been reborn. I need to teach him.
That's some real. He only hits me when he's angry.
Yes, exactly right. And it's like, oh boy, this is taken.
And I'm assuming it's clear to like the audience that is not a healthy.
Certainly
approach.
Not, because like the implication is like Hikaru's not lying when he says he can't control. Like it's not like it's not implied that Hikaru is manipulating Yoshiki. I mean, he is, but
he is actually just an eldritch creature that cannot maintain the human facade.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. And the ways
he's
in which
not intentionally manipulating Yoshiki.
Not necessarily. Yeah. And then episode 4 kind of gets into maybe what is going to be the like overarching like direction of this plot, because we find out that the sunglasses wearing like demon hunter dude or whatever has like started setting up like anti-spirit traps in the town, basically.
Okay.
And like it's very it's like Don, right? Setting up barriers, right? And like whenever Hikaru gets near these barriers, he like starts to like dissolve, basically. And there's this idea that like we're now kind of entering the like kind of cat and mouse game of this plot, where it's going to be this demon hunter trying to pen in Hikaru, right? Figure out where he's been, where he's going. Like, can I
right.
begin to restrict his movements and corner him? And at the same time, kind of getting into the implications about Hikaru's family, right? There's that talk in, I think in episode 3, they also mentioned that Hikaru's dad, the men of the Indo family have a role to perform in this village. There's this idea that the firstborn sons of the Indo family every generation must perform a ritual or something,
Right.
whatever.
I think that might have been touched on in episode 2.
Maybe. And the implication, at least with 3 and 4, is that Hikaru's dad has also passed away, right? And so there's this implication that whatever Hikaru's dad did, he did not get the job done correctly, or he could not accomplish his mission. Right. And there's a bit of a flashback to original Hikaru. The reason he went to the mountain, the implication seems to be to finish what his father failed to complete. And
is the implication that whatever duty this family has is to do with the evil that is currently impersonating Hikaru?
I think so. And that's kind of where we're going to get, I think, the dark irony, because there's a scene in episode 4 where the Bookhouse boys are they're debating whether to recruit Hikaru, which, again, funnily enough, right? Because they're he's the last Indo boy. It's his responsibility now. And they're he's just a boy. He doesn't, he doesn't even know the ritual, right? And they're we might have, we may just have to trust that he can do it, right? And, well, we know that...
Can't, yeah.
Well, this Hikaru...
Can't, what with being dead and all.
Yes, exactly, right? And so... I think that we're going in a direction of we're going to, now that we've kind of set up the emotional stakes for these characters, it seems like we're going to start going in the direction of they are now going to start getting tangled up in each other's machinations, I guess.
Right. I mean, so much of this story, the horror of this story, has to do with sort of the small town claustrophobia that's surrounding this, right? So the idea that this small town has dark, sort of incestuous, for want of a better word, secrets that it has been keeping under the that's a very classic, tried and true sort of supplement to the horror.
Yeah. I actually want to speak to that because there is actually a scene I really do want to give a shout out to. I almost forgot to bring it up. Related to that, right? The whole... Because episode 4 is them going to a festival with... Yoshiki has a sister who's implied to be a shut-in or something. It's not going to school.
Right, she's a hikikomori.
And he takes a sister... She wants to go to the festival, right? So Yoshiki and Hikaru take the sister to the festival. And the whole time they're there, right, you get the small town rumor mong. Oh, that's the... Oh, that girl, isn't she the one who won't go to school? What is her mother doing? Right, all that stuff, right? And this idea that this, a small town, right, it's a panopticon, it's a prison, right? It's a prison in which it's a prison of surveillance, right? You are constantly being watched by everybody else.
Everyone knows everything all the time.
Yes, and there's a great flashback where Yoshiki is deep in his feelings about once again, what am I to do with this Hikaru, right? Where we flash back to the original Hikaru, and Yoshiki and Hikaru, original Hikaru, hanging out by the riverside, talking about hell yeah, did you hear that so and so's family, their son is sick, that they're sending him away, and Yoshiki says reveals that's just a rumor they made up. It's not that he's sick, it's he's gay, and they're sending him away for what is implied to be conversion therapy.
Jesus.
And there's this great, beautiful, subtle bit where Hikaru's oh, he's one of those LGBT types, right? And the palpable tension in Yoshiki's face is so good, because he's because he just mumbles nah, yeah, something like that. I don't know. I'm not. I
wouldn't
don't really
about that.
Yeah, I guess is that what it's called? I don't yeah, I guess. And it's it's so it's so well shot. It's so well acted, I guess, for lack of a better word. This show is so good at like just speaking volumes of like relatively little. Like it's maybe the most impressive thing about this show. Is those smaller moments.
Oh, we go from before our Gachiakuta explaining everything in detail, and this is doing the show don't tell, right? Like
and it's so funny because it's not subtle. Like this show is screaming.
That's the thing. It's not even.
Yoshi
it's not
is
even
gay.
Being...
He's a big homo. He's gay, homosexual, gay. But like, it doesn't need to say it to your face because it trusts that you, the
obvious,
right?
Can, like,
it's not even about subtlety,
cues.
Right? Yeah, it's not even about subtlety, right? It's just like how you're expressing it, right?
But,
yeah. I should probably watch this at some point.
Yeah. I'm excited to catch up with it.
I'll have to get on that. Maybe I'll watch it after I drop this next show.
Ooh, a word.
So I wanted to give one more, or I should say, a few parting words for Nyaight of the Living Cat. This, of course, is the zombie cat apocalypse show. If you recall, last time I was broadly positive on the first episode. I thought it was fun. And after giving it the 3-episode test, I think I'm done. I didn't really like where the direction they went with it. Mm-hmm. This might not be great for our listeners, but you guys will understand. I'm getting some Under Ninja vibes.
Oh no,
derogatory.
Sure. Okay.
Like low budget or
well, okay. Aside from it's kind of got a grimy art style that kind of makes me think of it a little bit, and also the OP goes hard, like the OP.
Oh, sure, okay.
But they've gone for like a sort of non-linear flashback method of telling the story, which is like wildly unnecessary for a zombie apocalypse story. But like we keep cutting back to like because the show started at what I think is the present day, where they're escaping and they've lost everybody in the group except for the main guy and the schoolgirl that he's been charged with protecting. But then they flash back to like the day one of the Nyandemic and what happened then. But then they'll meet somebody in the flashback and then flashback again to a time before the Nyandemic. And I'm like, oh, okay, come on. And what kind of kills me is like, since they keep going backwards, a lot of it is like before the cat thing happened. So then there's just no zombie cat action. So like, for example, like she runs into one of her classmates. That's her friend. And we flash back to when they first met, which was before the Nyandemic. And it's a very like standard, you stood up for me for the Mean Girls and now we're friends story. It has nothing to do with any of the cat stuff. And I'm like, why did we just spend 15 minutes on this? So that's not
interesting.
Great. As a choice, that's for sure.
Because when you said you were dropping the show, my initial assumption was going to be, does the show have one joke?
No other jokes?
That's it? Yeah.
Nope. I would love to have more cat zombie jokes.
Man.
The other thing that I was kind of unsure of in episode 1, but they definitely confirm in episode 2 and 3. I knew the main guy was like a cat lover, and that was the joke, right? That he couldn't bring himself to hurt the cats, even though he's, big, strong action hero guy. What they kind of confirm in the next 2-3 episodes is this is some kind of alternate universe where everybody loves cats and therefore refuses to harm them. Which
wait, as like a narrative, because I mean, I think because the joke that people are unwilling to hurt cats, like that makes sense. But are you
they
saying
decide to like officially like canonize that, where cats are very important to everyone in this world?
Cats are a protected species.
Almost like so they have, which granted I'm going to explain this and it's going to sound very funny, so in a way it kind of was, but they have an entire scene where the Prime Minister of Japan calls a meeting in his secret bunker with everybody, of course, right? And he's wearing this very loud, like, I can't remember if it was orange or pink or something suit with cat paws on it.
Okay.
he calls
Okay.
his cabinet of military leaders and other government officials that all have and it does like the documentary thing where it shows their name like under their as they're being introduced, and they all have titles that are some kind of cat pun. I'm like, okay, we're going too far with this. It was the joke was good enough, just relying on humans' attitudes towards cats anyway, not naturally being able to or comfortable with harming them. We didn't have to go this far where like the whole world just is everybody's a cat lover.
That feels like a silly, like unnecessary world building detail to like, we just talked about like lore, it's like, it's like, why would you need to set that up? Like you already have the baseline joke that your average person would not want to hurt a cat. Like that's just normal.
Right. At least I hope so. But yeah, it's interesting. We got a comment. I don't remember who it was, but we got a comment on the last podcast episode about apparently the manga plays it much more of like 100% straight, serious, or zombie, just dry zombie parody, which it's probably where they needed to go with this. And the anime is kind of just being more goofy with it. I don't know how even in manga form you would make this not goofy because the man was wearing like an orange cat paw suit.
Well, I think you can do the like comically serious angle, right?
Yes.
The everybody takes it 100% serious, and that's what makes it funny.
Yeah, and I think the end result ends up being like, and this is the worst place to be, is they get caught in the middle of like either you are like dead dry, deadpan, 110% serious, life and death, whatever situation to the point where it becomes funny, or you let's just be ridiculous and campy and make funny cat jokes. We kind of get stuck in the middle with these 3 episodes is what I feel like, and that is the worst place to be for a comedy. So by the end of it I was just like it was really dragging for me by episode 3 where you're getting more flashbacks or whatever. There were a couple of good bits. I will shout out what I thought was the funniest part, where they're running away from cats, obviously, and the main guy's like, I need to buy some time. So he pulls out like the little like toy mouse on a string things.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And he starts swinging around to get the cat's attention. And he's like running around swinging the mouse at the cats to hold them off, and like doing parkour and sick flips and stuff while there's like this like screamo metal music playing in the background.
Sure.
And I'm like, yeah, all right, fine. Give me more stupid stuff like this. But that is like 2 minutes of the first 3 episodes. So I don't know. It's just like I did not like how the direction they were heading, pulling everything together. Even though there are some hooks that could lead to some pretty ridiculous things. Like I'm fairly certain the main guy was a cat turned into a human. I think that's where they're going.
The reverse.
Yeah.
The reverse virus.
I'm like, I haven't looked anything up. I haven't spoiled anything. But either he is a cat turned into a human, or he was a human turned to a cat back into a human. But I feel like at some point he was a cat, and he is now, and that's going to be like his like blood's going to be the key to reversing the endemic or something like that. So I'm going to call my shot on that one, but
also you're not going to watch anymore.
I'm also not going to watch to find out. So maybe I'll have to go research that or something. But yeah. Anyway, it was kind of a fun idea, and it's not awful, but it was just, there's a lot of good shows this season. I can move on to watch something else. Like I did pick up the detective show, which I'm enjoying a lot more. So and then
I'll argue with that. Then
I'm gonna try to fit in the summer Hikaru died, and perhaps I will convince myself to watch the next show on our list at some point.
Let the good times roll, baby.
Let's talk about Takopi's Original Sin, which there's 1 episode remaining, correct?
Yes.
So you've watched up until the penultimate episode, I guess, right?
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I mean, it's good, but also,
that's a lot.
How are you feeling? Bad.
Bad, but in a good way.
Yeah. I mean, there's just
Is there anything you can say about this without like spoiling things? Is that what it is? Maybe.
I mean, well, how much is there to spoil in the idea that these children are all suffering greatly under varying types of abuse, right?
Yeah, I guess if we could get a little more into specifics, I think without spoil, like there's not like big, like I mean, there's a couple of big things we could spoil, but I think we can focus on the thematic stuff.
Right.
So I think in these 2 episodes, one of the big focuses is on Azuma, who is the glasses-wearing Detective Conan-looking kid who decides to like try to help out Shizuka. I think because of a very obvious crush he has on her.
Yes.
To help her go to the city to go find Chappie, who was definitely sent to go live with Dad, right?
Definitely.
And I think for a lot of people, myself included, the Azuma storyline like hits really hard because Azuma's abuse is not nearly as like morally abhorrent as the others. Like he is not physically abused or beaten or bullied but he is neglected, and he is neglected in a very familiar way, right? Which is, he comes from a family of doctors. His older brother is, a genius, perfect, right? Like can do no wrong, always aces his tests, popular at school, and
born with a silver spoon in his mouth.
Kind of, yeah, And meanwhile, Azuma, like, despite working very hard and being very intelligent, is just simply not as intelligent as his older brother. And this is expressed, and this neglect is then expressed in the forms of Azuma's mother's appalling treatment of this. Appalling in its relatability, I guess, right? Yeah. Azuma's mother has developed a technique where every day that Azuma has a test, she will make a fat stack of delicious-looking pancakes. And if Azuma gets a 100 on that test, she will let him eat those pancakes. And if he gets anything less than a 100, she will resign it. She will, exhaustedly sigh, be like, "Why did you make me go through all the effort of making these pancakes? Why did you make me waste my time, Azuma? I worked so hard to make these delicious pancakes for you, but I guess but you just enjoy making me suffer."
You've proven that you don't deserve them, and just made more trouble for me.
Yes, and I think anybody who's lived in a household with like parents who have very high academic expectations of you will know like this exact type of abuse.
Oh yeah.
It is because it is not the guilt tripping over why did you get a high enough score. It is the specific guilt tripping of you not getting a high enough score is hurting me. Why are you hurting me? Why do you not love me? Why do you hate your parents? Like if you loved me, you would simply get a 100 on that test, right? And it's awful. It's awful to watch. It's so upsetting.
I'm getting mad. You just like me personally, I didn't grow up with that, but like it just makes me mad even thinking about it. But yes,
right. And it's like
even just talking about
him.
it.
Like she's she's not even calling him names. Like she's not even shouting at him. It's just this simple mechanical leverage of guilt. Yeah. And it all culminates in this moment where like Azuma's scores are dropping because he's spending so much of his time, covering up a murder,
hiding a corpse. Yeah.
Eventually like turns in like. And here's the thing: Azuma's not a dumb kid. He's turning in like 96s, right? Like to be clear,
right.
He's just not turning in hundreds like his brother. And he finally turns in a 68, And look, if you've ever been raised in one of these households and you've had to present your mom like with a fucking 68, like you could feel it. The tension is palpable. And rather than like lash out, in fact, Azuma's mother reacts with maybe the ultimate, like the nuclear option of like familial abuse, which is, you know what, Azuma? I'm sorry. You can do whatever you want. because clearly you just don't care about doing well in school. And I'm sorry for wasting all this time. You know what? Go hang out with your friends. You don't have to worry about your grades anymore. Like, I'm done. I've given up on you. I will no longer expend effort on you. So you're free. Congratulations. You got what you wanted. And it's...
All you have to do is walk away.
It's so harsh, man. It's
heavy.
It's heavy. It's
like I'm not gonna say I'm glad, but I appreciate, let's say, that it sounds like they're taking more, I guess, nuanced angles.
There is a specificity.
Yeah, as opposed to just, the very obvious methods of abuse or whatever that kids go through, right?
Right. I think it's very easy to, you want to write a bad parent. They hit their kid, or they abuse them. They verbally abuse them, whatever. Right. I think it's so much easier to write that type of abuse, and not to dismiss that type of abuse, which is very real. It's just
right.
I think
there are different
the abuse,
forms, right? Yeah.
Yes, and I think the abuse portrayed in the Azuma episode, like, I hope. Well, there's going to be a weird word. Statistically, I hope it is more common than simply like pure physical abuse, right? Like, and I think it is important that it gets portrayed, I think, in media like this, right? Because I think like, again, I think people are obviously empathetic towards like physical abuse, but I think there's a little bit of a disconnect, because I think most people are not like abused to the degree that like Shizuka and Marina are, at least, right? Not like full on closed fist beatings. And so there is a bit of a like separation. There's a like, wow, that's horrible. Good thing that's not me, right? But I think Azuma's abuse is like, even if you've never felt that exact form of it, if you've ever had a less than ideal relationship with your parents, there are many shades of it to be found in Azuma's story. And it's very affecting. And I think the reason, though, why I can say like confidently that I don't think Takopi is like misery porn is because, like, in the end, the person who kind of saves Azuma is the aforementioned brother, the ace, the perfect can do no wrong. Like, it would almost be easier if he was secretly a shithead, but the twist is, no, he's actually just that good of a guy. Like,
that's a much more interesting path to go down, quite frankly.
Yeah, and I think it worked. It's very cathartic, right? Like, the older brother that like Azuma has like low-key resented this entire time, right? Because it has never been malicious. It's not. I think his older brother's named Junya. It was never Junya's fault. It's just the fault of the familial dynamic they were raised in that created this conflict. And once the two have like an honest heart to heart, like, a resolution is found. It's not, it's still this show, so it's not a
right. It doesn't like, it's not like,
but,
problem solved, we're done. But it's.
But there is a form of catharsis once the two are able to speak to each other openly about what Azuma is going through. And I think it's so important that like Takopi, despite the depths this show like lurks in, it gets that like there must be a light at the end of the tunnel, I think, for stories like this. And I think that's important because then episode 5 goes right back into the deep end, which I won't give it the same play-by-play, but it is basically just setting up, I think, the climax of the conclusion of the story. It is it does the classic thing of, you thought in episode 2 that you knew what Takopi's original sin was, and then episode 5 hits you with, no, that was not the original sin. There's an even older, more primordial original sin committed by Takopi that is the actual thing he must atone for.
All right.
It's good. It's well done. It's I will just say it gives a lot of episode 5 has a lot of like insight into Marina's character again. And I think it's very well done. Like, Marina is obviously not sympathetic character. She is the one who has been committing the worst of the physical abuse on Shizuka, but it gives very empathetic insight into her situation, and like, again, the ways in which like cycles of abuse like propagate generationally. Like even if you're aware of them, even if like that's what's happening, like it can be so hard to break how you've been raised. It's great. I mean, I don't. It's great stuff, man. It's heavy. It's heavy as hell. It's a hard show to recommend, but also like it's such a good show. It's such a well told story.
It's very well made, right?
Yeah.
I have my own like meta textually. This is perhaps only tangentially related to like Takopi itself, but like I almost wish that we didn't have to like consider shows as heavy as this one as like better than shows that are not tackling as heavy topics.
Right, of course.
Right.
We've talked about this before. The Oscar bait problem, right? It's
right, and it's like yes, it's because these are like more difficult emotions to face, and so the media that makes us face them is sort of higher regarded, right?
Often gets put on a pedestal.
Yeah.
We're looking
Which, of course,
for
it's still doing a very good job of it, but it is that reflex that makes me step back from being like, and this is the best show this season. Because
right,
it's like,
and I think
this shows all. Yes, it's like
yeah.
I don't know. It's depressing. Yeah.
It's the quote unquote best show of the season, but do you feel good? Do you feel good after watching
right.
it?
It's like, yeah.
But yeah.
And I think it's like, I mean, the fact that I think we're all cognizant of this is probably why, like, if you look at our past years, the most serious show does not always win, right? Like, this is like, I think thankfully we all kind of have the like bird's eye view to understand. I don't know, sometimes it's good to laugh, right? Yes. I think like the emotions that an Apocalypse Hotel can evoke in us is like no less valid than the ones that I think Takopi does. I think it's just
absolutely
the latter is often seen as, more quote unquote sophisticated or mature.
Yes.
Like it kind of
That's sort of what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Right.
But I think regardless of go ahead, Jill.
Yeah, it's a complicated topic, right?
Yes,
and then you just get into the subjectivity of what does best even mean, right? But
I mean that's a bigger question than just anime.
But I get what you're saying because, like, we've got a lot of goofy shows this season that we're having a blast watching.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it is our inclation to think
but
something like this.
Is this show like better just because it makes me sad? Like,
it makes you feel something, yeah.
In ways that the other shows do not make me feel sad. Like,
it is an interesting, interesting discussion for that. But,
I mean, I can confidently say, if nothing else, I think like Takopi's Original Sin is this is an excellent adaptation.
Yeah. Looks
great. I don't know if I'm there to like for those conversations yet of like show of the year or season or whatever, but I can confidently say it is definitely one of the strongest shows I'm currently watching, at least.
Yeah.
It's only 6 episodes, right? So maybe I'll try to catch it before next time. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Is this a show you want? Look, you marathon Vinland Saga, and that was. I recall you had a rough time marathoning that. I don't know if you should marathon Takopi.
That was 24 episodes, though.
Right? I know, but
it was a lot to absorb. Yes, in a short period of time.
Takopi, I would say Takopi is like arguably like a heavier watch. It's just condensed into like fewer episodes.
So instead of taking a couple shots of misery, I'm just injecting it straight into my veins, right?
Yes,
uncut, mainlining
it. Uncut misery, man. This shit is.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, all right.
The purest shit on the street, man.
Well. Thankfully, we can end on a lighter note, as we have been, and City, the animation, still great, very much still my thing. I'm sure everybody's enjoying it, but I've been like progressively enjoying it more as time goes on personally. But not that it's doing anything wildly different, but we are getting sort of the expansion of the city
It's
universe.
doing
The city extended
it's
universe.
doing a lot more to like intertwine the
Yes.
plots, right?
Yeah, I still think that's the single biggest difference between this and Nichijou, where they are definitely putting more of an effort to kind of tie all the stories together.
Yeah, great payoff in this morning's episode with that. I laughed a lot at the end of today's
Oh
episode.
yes, the chase. Yes.
Yeah.
After the pendant. All right. Yeah, I think again, I am definitely still having a very good time with this show. I think it is a little bit similar to Panty and Stocking with me. Like, ironically, considering how like tonally opposed these shows are, but of like. I think it's like some bits definitely work better for me than others. Like I think there are some that I think are very funny, and then there's some where it's it's like light chuckle territory. It's like oh, that was charming.
I think with these though, they're coming a lot faster, right? Like
that is true. Yes,
Panty and Stocking, you have like 2, maybe 3 segments where City, you're kind of diving in for a couple minutes to whatever that group is doing, and then it's on to the next one, right? But
right.
So it's a little easier to, for me anyway, a little easier to just if move on to the next one, right? But there's some good. Go ahead, Zig.
I was just going to say, as I've watched more episodes of this, I'm still really enjoying it, but I think it's also reminded me a little bit of the things that I wasn't so keen on Nichijou, because, you had Aqua on last time. I'm the other Nichijou hater on the podcast.
Boo, no.
but like, I think some of the bits are really, really funny. Some are kind of a little meandering and don't really go anywhere. And I think the advantage, as we were just saying, of the sketch-based format is that you can get past those. And I think City's hit rate is much higher for me than Nichijou, but there is occasionally the lingering one that's like, oh, right, yeah, sometimes Japanese humor is just not really what hits for me.
Yeah. I think probably connected to that note, I started watching it dubbed for some reason, because that's what comes up first.
Okay.
And the dub is fantastic on this.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I am hesitant to say shout out to Amazon and Netflix or anything, but I feels like they probably pay people to do their localization, and also like they put their name in the credits. So
they do that.
Yes.
I get to see whoever is handling the subtitles for Panty and Stocking every week, and
so shout out on that one.
A bunch of them are women, which is very funny.
Shout out in the one very specific way, but the dub is fantastic, and it actually, I think, in episode 4 actively made it better, because there was this one segment, and so I've been watching the subtitles on while hearing the dub, so I can see the subs, which are different.
Yeah.
And there was the whole segment with the 2 middle school girls that I don't know how that makes any sense in the subtitles, where they were Etchen, the girl with the purple hair, just starts saying like random words or whatever. I don't know if you guys remember that segment. I couldn't see how any way they made.
Was that this week's episode?
Yeah, I think it was this
where
one,
they're
right?
saying like hamburger,
cheeseburger thing, like right? Yes, where they're like. Yes. One of them is saying it with like a more like quote unquote correct English American English pronunciation.
So the way they and in the subtitles it was like, are you the real Etchen or are you the real deal? I'm like, what does that even mean, right? And in the dub, they it's a great performance. The actress is like basically saying all the words with like different international accents.
Mm-hmm.
And in the localization, in the dub, she says, are you the real Etchen or are you accent Etchen? Like she's like playing a character.
Oh, sure.
And it made so much more sense because she was basically goofing around and like saying all these English words with a weird international accent of whatever country she was imitating for that particular word, and I'm like, I have no idea how that would have made sense with the Japanese audio and the subtitles, because the subtitles weren't giving you anything. So shout out to the dub. It's quite good. The acting is fantastic, and the localization I feel like has actually helped on the Japanese. I feel like that might have been some kind of cultural reference or something. I don't know. That maybe
it often is. I feel like.
So for that kind of stuff, okay, fine. Maybe it is the Ace Attorney turning the into hamburgers, but at least it's something that like I can get the joke, right? So, I've been finding that helpful. So I do get it though. Not all of these segments are winners, but I personally I find even like the segments that aren't funny to be very charming. Like I just enjoy watching it.
Yes, it is just incredibly. It's because the level of animation is so good. It is incredibly pleasurable to watch.
Yes,
even if you ignore the things that are actually happening, it is just like a nice series of images. I don't really know how to put it other than that.
Yeah. So.
The kind of realization I had is that, like, in some ways, City is almost like the hybridization of, like, the absurdist sketch comedy of Nichijou, and like almost like what's it called, Iyashike, right? Like healing show, right?
The healing show stuff. Yeah.
And it's like I think approaching it from that perspective, like I am more forgiving of like. Yeah, again, to compare to like Panty Stocking, like when the Panty Stocking bits don't hit for me, it's a little bit of a like, oh, you did not succeed in evoking the intended reaction. Whereas I think when the bits don't necessarily hit for me in City, it's because they are going more for an intentionally lower key presentation. Anyway, right?
This isn't always a laugh out loud gut busting show. Sometimes it's a chuckle and go, "Oh, you so crazy" show.
And I think it works because, like, when the show does want to go wild, it does, right? Like in episode 3, you have the I guess both episodes have characters racing across the city to get somewhere, right? Because you have they're like trying to like get to the buried treasure or whatever. Yes. And you have that great bit where like I think it's Izumi like handcuffs the legs of the other two, and then there's like the glue trap. It's very goofy,
I feel like she's secretly a serial killer or something, but
right, just walks into the river, just right, I did like throwing the skull into space or whatever.
I did like the final twist of that is that it was all a plan by the local shrine to get them to dig a big hole.
To cover like rent.
Yeah, her very evil landlady. Who apparently is. I guess we got it to be continued at the end of episode 4 because she's plotting something.
Yes.
And we had we meet Riko Izumi, who I don't know if did they say in the anime that it's the other girl's sister. I don't remember.
Well, she has
all those like flashback.
Every time she had that like life flashing before her eyes.
Yes, that's right.
Also a very good joke, by the way. The colored smear
Yes.
into the dying vision, and then culminating in the fucking
octopus, right? The
takoyaki.
That was the best. That was the joke.
Yes,
that was the joke.
Was great.
That was the joke of
funny.
these 2 episodes. That was the winner. God, I laughed so hard on that one.
Like, it's look, repetition is funny.
It's a great gag where you realize what the gag is about a fourth of a second before they
once you see the colored smears kick in.
Just late enough to where it's just like the sweet spot, right? But
it's perfect.
So it's a lot of fun. I know we often just sit here and rehash what our favorite jokes are, but that's the fun part, is reliving, just sharing that. But it is ultimately more than probably any show on this list, something you have to watch to fully appreciate. So, we can only
that girl's the number one heartbreaker in the city.
Yeah, I love God, I love that she is just totally brain dead,
I don't
head
think
empty.
That's spoken
not a single thought in her head, and yet everybody just
Yes.
instantly falls in love with her. Which fits with if she's what's the other girl? Wako.
Yeah,
Izumi?
Wako Izumi. Yeah,
Yeah, she fits.
Izumi Clan is.
You can
just
tell they are related, right? Which is pretty funny.
super airhead energy. Like,
yeah. So, yep.
it's good.
Very good. I recommend checking out the dub.
It's good.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
That was the other dub moment. When what's the like the main girl, Nagumo?
Mm-hmm.
When she's doing her laundry and all her shirts. Ah,
yeah.
Classic gag.
Classic gag.
In the dub, they say in the dub, because I think the subtitles are like, "Are you some kind of cartoon character?" And in the dub, she says, "Are you Bart Simpson or something?"
Okay, sure.
I found very
man. We can just do that. That strikes me as almost a close to a Panty Stocking dub joke.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yes, I've been watching Panty and Stocking dub too, because, like I said, I find that funny that it's
a pretty solid dub there too.
It's not
the same cast, right?
It is not.
No, but it is like 20 to 30% raunchier, which is a little bit funny.
Right? They say like motherfucker a lot more, right?
Yeah, they throw in a lot more swear words in the dub.
I appreciate that, but also I can't give up Panty's Japanese voice actor saying "fuck" all the time.
That's what she said last time too. Yeah, they did do
watching Japanese.
They did do the knee socks roll the R's rules.
Oh, in the dub,
I can't roll my R's, but the rules
I can't do it either.
The rules, yes, they do that in the dub. Well, actually, I don't even think knee socks does it. I think Panty is. Or not Panty. Stocking is imitating them or something.
Stocking does it, yeah. I think so.
Yeah, she does the R roll, so we did at least get that. But the dub's very good on that as well. So, all right, good times. A lot of fun anime to watch, and even not fun anime, but still good. So, yeah, that'll do it then for this episode. Let's do our housekeeping. You can check us out at theglorioblog.com. You can follow us on Blue Sky at GlorioBlog. You can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, Stitcher, and of course YouTube, where you can like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, all those good things. Tell us what shows you're still watching after the 3-episode test, if there's anything else we're missing. Or, if you think we're wrong on any of these shows, tell your friends, tell your enemies, and we'll catch you next time.